Good morning, guys. It is Friday, and I don't know about you, but the days of the week are, totally confusing for me right now because we are not on a typical schedule. So, yesterday I shared with you a picture of all of the boxes that we had left over from Christmas, and we saved all of those because that's what I use to ship all of my packages with. And the biggest thing is because when you're selling antiques, it's not like I can go buy, 3 different size of boxes and get 100 each of those, because when you're selling antiques, everything's like a weird size, shape. You might have multiple things in a box, and so it's just more economical for me to reuse boxes. So I will get a lot from Gypsy Quarter, which is a shop in town. And then, Christmas hooks me up, and then I have some people who know that I want their boxes and packing material, and so they save them for me. And I'm really appreciative of that, because that gives me a wide variety of sizes, and I can pick a box that is closest to what I'm actually going to need for shipping, because not only does the weight of the box matter for shipping, but also size. So if I ship something in a box that is twice as big as it's needed, then that's going to cost the customer more money because the box is too big and it goes on dimensions. So it could weigh 5 ounces, but if it's in a big box, it's going to cost more than if it was in a box that was the appropriate size. So that's one of the reasons that I reuse boxes. Plus, there's really no reason to buy new boxes when there's tons available to reuse. So just trying to think of saving the world a little bit, playing my part in that, I guess. So I don't really think it bothers too many people, and if it bothers you, then you probably wouldn't want to be one of my customers. So, but the question was, because I know a lot of you sell online as well, either antiques or other items. And so the question was, how do I keep the boxes organized? And when I get done here, I will link for you a blog post I did about this space. So last year, it was around Christmas time, because it caused problems, because every time we had people over, I had to shove everything back into this room. But when we started on this room, you literally couldn't walk in it. It became one of those rooms that you open the door and you just set everything down, and then there was no path anymore. So even though it's hidden and in the basement, and I would never hardly ever come down here, I don't like chaos, unorganized places. So finally I decided it was worth it to spend a few days, which turned into a month, cleaning this space and making it work for me, because probably the big motivator was that I was shipping more things, and our dining room table became my shipping station, and that is not very family friendly. So I needed a space, and I had this space here that just wasn't getting utilized. So we've added in some things. I added another shelf since the blog post. I actually have another shelf sitting on the floor that needs screwed into the wall, so I can use that as well, because my whole thing with organization is keeping things up off of the floor. And then we also, since we cleared out the space, our dogs normally have their kennels kind of by the back door, and we went ahead and moved their kennels in here. Mainly, I don't know. At one point, I think when we moved them in here, it must have been for Ragbri, and we had 14 guys sleeping in our basement for Ragbri, and the dogs would probably have barked the whole time in their kennel, and shutting them in a room we thought would keep them out of the guys' faces when they're sleeping, but also they wouldn't be barking all night. So then we just thought it was a good spot, and we left them here. So the dogs are in here also, but whatever. And this is also where we have all of our holiday decor and keepsakes, scrapbooking things that I need to eventually get caught back up on, which probably won't happen until next year when Kellen graduates, and I need all of that stuff for a graduation party. So I'll turn the camera around and show you how I keep my boxes organized. I just happened to do this yesterday. This is just stuff. I've got a couple of really good customers, and I just kind of hoard their stuff until we have a box worth. because it saves on shipping. So up here we have a lot of little boxes, and normally I had shoe boxes up here, but because the kids got new shoes for school, pretty much have used all of those. These are funny because they are, the fishing. Now I'm going to draw a blank. Kellen has last year got a fishing subscription, and they come in those little boxes. And so it's funny because now I use some of the little boxes for my mystery junk box. So then we have this whole counter, and I have paper that I wrap things in, and then I keep my filler stuff separated. So that is a bunch of like small sized bubble wrap that I got from, I think, the diabetic, can't even think what it's called, but where you go and you get treatment. Then I have like some foam stuff. I've got some bigger chunks of bubble wrap. In this tall skinny one are a lot of the big bubbles like right there. And this is just some paper filler that I have shoved in there. In the drawer, I have like envelopes, bags, tissue paper, more tape, different things like that. And then just kind of keep organizing that and seeing what works. And then the dog's home. And then over here I did a blog post on this. This is one of those family heirlooms that I don't know what to do with, but I haven't thrown away. So I just throw styrofoam in there. I haven't gotten anything from Stacy at Gypsy Quarter lately, but she normally has a lot of styrofoam stuff for fillers, and so I throw it all in there. And then in all of these totes are Christmas stuff and, like I said, scrapbooking stuff, but I have just lined the shelves, and these shelves are things that my dad made for me along with the ledge behind me last year around Christmas time. Because again, I want to keep things up off the floor. So the thought process is the shelf sizes are the size that the totes will go in. I've got 2 Christmas trees behind these boxes here, but I have them sitting out with smaller boxes nestled in them. That's so I can see them, because I can kind of eyeball if I'm trying to ship blah, 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 it's this size, then I can kind of guesstimate what size I'd need. Now, these collapsed boxes, those are from Gypsy because somebody had already broke them down. I don't like the boxes to be broken down because I can't visualize the size that I need to ship the item. And so I know it takes up a lot more space to do it this way, but I like this method because I can see what I'm doing and it's easier for me to pick a box. I've got tons of extra pillows up there, so need to do something with those sometime. And then I have a few of the flat rate shipping boxes from the post office. Very rarely, unless something is insanely heavy, am I going to ship with the post office boxes, just because it seems to be cheaper the other way. And I don't want to pay for shipping if I'm buying something, so I understand and I want to make it cheap for my customers as well. So that's kind of my method for, boxes. I just keep them all nestled inside so I can see, and I reorganize this probably monthly because my mystery junk boxes go out the first week of the month. And what I do, if I'm shipping 20 or 30 boxes, then I get all those boxes out, and normally I made a mess all over the floor at that point, and then I will organize them after I get those junk boxes shipped. Otherwise, it's just a few things here and there, and hopefully more now that I have my or getting my e-commerce set up. And then this shelf down here, I want to get it put up as well, so again, I can keep things up off of the floor. So this is my shipping station room and how I stay organized. So maybe that will help some of you that ship a lot of things too.